Texas when there's a man, we all know him. He is called John. He's got it going on. He knows the songs, and he is going to be strong. He's true blue, red, white, and blue, but he is more blue these days. This drifter in blue loves me and you. He is going to rant. We all know he's got the show, and he is going to sing with his crew and his pet Jenny too. We all meet every day. This man is true, red, white, and blue, but he is more blue these days. Cause this drifter in blue loves me and you, and he loves to be strong. We love him, that's why we tune in, and why we love to hear his chants, because we are blue dots from afar, and now we are all strong. Because this man is true, red, white, and blue, but he is more blue these days. This drifter in blue, he loves me and you, and he is going his way.
Hello, family. That is our own T.W. Travis in his new song that he just wrote. I am so flattered by it and honored by it. T.W., I appreciate it so much. I hope you enjoyed it. I know I did. And that makes several songs that he has written about the Blue Dot family here. And I couldn't be happier with that. It is Sunday, baby. You know it's time for a Blue Dot family meeting, so I'm glad you're all here. I want to recognize who jumped in first. Dwizzle Snizzle and Joy Peters jumped in. Carolyn Van Wyck, Jen Locks, George Murray, John Heron, and Eddie Togogo, and Mr. Randy Peterson, who put out a special request to keep the officer that was ambushed and killed last night in Fayetteville, Arkansas. He wants you to keep that family in your prayers and your thoughts. So, hoorah and woo pig there, Randy. We appreciate you doing that, buddy. Keeping your community in your thoughts. And what better thing can you do than that? Anyway, baby, we're looking forward to a week here. I'm looking forward to a damn good week. It's going to be interesting, to say the least, as the continuing soap opera that is the Treasons of Trump, the days of the dotard. What's that say? Like sands through the hourglass, so are the days of Donnie's lives. And just like that story, this story will have an ending soon too. And I'm telling you, we thought of that. Me and Mama was sitting out at the we was thinking about this soap opera that Donnie has put us through, and that's what we came in. Like days through the hourglass, so are the days of Donnie's lies, and they are coming up, baby. We're gonna head back to the Judiciary Committee. Jerry Nadler on Monday. He's going to open it up to the witnesses that are going to testify and connect Donnie's actions to impeachment. We're going to go charge by charge now. We're going to start getting into the meat and potatoes of exactly what constitutes obstruction of justice and what constitutes abuse of power. So it's going to be real entertaining, to say the least. It's going to deal with direct evidence. These are the 5 things that Jerry Nadler said that we're going to do. We're going to produce direct evidence and show a pattern of abuse and obstruction, and the level of proof, a level of proof for each violation, and how they relate together, and the House support, and how they persuade the Senate to do their job, because it's all going to fall on the Senate, because the GOP's already put out the bent. They're not going to participate in anything the House does. They don't believe this shit. It's all a hoax. It's a witch hunt, blah, blah, blah. The same story Donnie has always said about anything he's involved in. It's all a bullshit story with Donnie. But the time is going to come where the Senate is going to have to we're going to find out, are they patriots or are they partisans? And that's going to be the telltale sign here coming up. We already know the House has abandoned their ethics, their morals, their ability to see what's right in front of them. We have to attack the Senate, baby. Because all this time, Donnie's been crying foul. We can't participate, and they ain't being fair to us. We are running this impeachment hearing under the same rules that the Republicans put in place during the impeachment of Bill Clinton. These are Republican rules that we are playing by. So all this bullshit about we can't do this and we can't do that, it's a smokescreen. It's like every other thing that comes out of their mouth. It's a freaking lie, and they sell it to their little minions that we're not being fair to them. But they want to sit out there, and you can tell by the list of people they want to call Biden, Pelosi. They want to call the whistleblower. This has nothing to do with anything that's in front of them, except possibly the whistleblower, and he's not needed because we already have evidence corroborated by separate individuals as to his complaint. So it's really not necessary. It's just a show. A circus is being put on by the Republicans, and we're all supposed to be entertained, but they're playing to a small audience out there. Let me remind you of that. But it is our voices that carry things, and there's one voice I want to call out tonight, and I hope he's right here. Randy Kervin, are you in here, buddy?
Yeah, John, I'm here.
How you doing?
Doing good. I made a little progress today, John.
Did you? Good.
I think I'm now PayPal.
Uh-huh.
I don't know how, other than I will tell people it's under Randall Kervin.
Yeah. Well, let me explain that then.
And
Randy's had a little difficulty here lately. You've been doing your show for how long, Randy?
Oh my God.
Yeah, see, same answer. Oh my shit, I got to come up with a number. It's been a long ass time, ain't it?
Yeah, I've got 73 just on YouTube.
There you go. And you didn't come on YouTube. You were on Facebook for a while before you came to YouTube.
Yeah. I'm figuring it's been over a year that I've been on Facebook.
Yeah. And been persistent with it all the time. And Randy's voice is as important as mine. I always try to let people know that this voice thing is so important, especially I'm fixing to give you the spill that I give on Bob Kincaid's show when I go on there. Randy's had some problems with the camera. Am I right, Randy?
Yeah, I've got one that's way out of date.
Travis can relate with that.
I've been thinking about talking to Buddy. You know, I occasionally will mention his these days.
Right.
And I found out from him if I had a snowball mic, I'd be able to play some of the cuts off his CD.
Yeah.
Just a few things like that.
It's things like that. When I started this, I started on my iPad, and I swear I was fixing to take a hammer to that thing before our Blue Dot family member Michael Sean stepped up, and he sent me the MacBook Pro, which is not a cheap gift, let me tell you. And we progressed with that until Chris Kloss jumped in with the mixer and the microphones, the headphones I'm wearing, Rex. Oh God, that's pitiful, ain't it? Hendricks. I think was his name. I'm sorry, that's pitiful. live like that. Anyway, if it wasn't for the help of others, uh, I wouldn't have progressed to where I am now. We still have future plans, but all of this, it takes money. It takes things to be able to put this thing on. And I want to give you it's important. It's important that Randy, I'm asking you to donate to Randy's PayPal if you can, and whatnot. Any way you can, support him. Because as I say on the Bob Kincaid Show, it's these voices that come from the heart of the country, this rural America. Bob Kincaid is in Arkansas. I mean, West Virginia. Randy is in Arkansas. I'm in Texas.
No,
Leo's,
Missouri.
I'm
He's
Missouri.
in
I'm
Missouri.
sorry. I'm sorry.
This is why you need to write scripts.
Yeah, I need to
Basically,
write
Randy Kervin needs your help to keep his voice on
That's
the air
right.
and ongoing. So, Randy, you mentioned that we could find you on PayPal with the name Randall Kervin. Is that correct?
Right. And also, Travis,
Mm-hmm.
Kathy McLeod got me to go sign up at GoFundMe.
Okay.
Okay.
And I think in about 24 hours that will be available. There's already a link on Rantin' Randy's Rant.
Okay, I'll go ahead and go find that link, and I'll put that in the description or in the YouTube chat.
In the YouTube
For those
chat,
who are watching abroad from like Facebook or Twitter, if you could make your way over to YouTube, you can find the links here in the YouTube chat, and I'll also go ahead and put that in the Discord chat where everybody can find it. And let's give Randy a little helping hand to keep his voice on the air and keep things going. And all that
That's
good
exactly
stuff.
what I mean. Is the message and the voice and where it's coming from. We always hear of the right coast and the left coast, and how that population tends to think that the middle of the country is, well, they're all red anyway. Who gives a shit? There's nobody lives there. We are all over this place, baby. There are blue dots in every state in this union, and it warms my heart to see other voices like mine that started just out of your kitchen, baby, just or out of your shop or wherever it was. That saw the need for somebody to stand up and say something. And the more of us that stand up and say something, the better it is, the wider the message goes. And just like me, if I wouldn't have all the gifts behind me, I swear, that this family has bestowed upon me and has encouraged me to do my voice. We want to do the same with Randy and anybody else that is doing this. It's hard for Randy to come on there and on his show, I'm sure, and say, hey, people, I need some money. I need a new microphone or a new camera. That's difficult to do. It's embarrassing for one, and those around you tend to think, oh, look at her begging for money. Kiss my ass. It is a job, and I'm sure that Randy spends a lot of his day, just like I spend a lot of my day, just pouring into the news and then trying to find time to get all the chores done that you're supposed to do anyway. And it's a time-consuming thing, and I want to recognize Randy for being at it. It's the same thing, baby. Resist and persist. A voice that will not yield. And as long as these voices are going, they all need the support of every one of us. And I wanted to help Randy out tonight by pointing that out, that there are people in our family in need, and Randy's one of them. And so if you can, Travis is going to try to put the link in the...
Yeah, I'm looking for the links right now, and I'll update y'all as soon as I can find them here.
Because we want Randy to progress with his voice as far as he can. I've always said this ain't a competition between anybody. This is a movement. This is a family movement. And the more this family speaks up, the louder it gets, the bigger it gets. And it just warms my heart to see that happening. And I love it when those in the center of the country, those in rural areas, are speaking out. Because there is an overriding assumption that, well, if you live out in the country, you just must be a redneck and a Trump supporter. And that is anything but the truth, is it not, Randy?
Yeah, that's right, John. And see, it got harder for me. I started before I retired.
Yeah,
And that meant that about $8,000, almost $9,000 a year, I don't have anymore.
I can relate totally to that. It's I used to make money selling my belt buckles or doing whatever I could, and nowadays can't make the belt buckles anymore, and the whatever you could has been limited, as I was pointed out yesterday while we moved a bunch of junk around. I just put my back in a bind again. So now I have my shoulder, my right shoulder, my left knee, and my back all at one time. So we it be. Getting old, baby. It's not for the young.
Oh, it's no fun.
No fun at all, I'm telling you. But it
Get out
does.
the horse liniment.
That's it. I'm telling you. Well, they shoot horses, don't you? So don't they so? Hello, Velda.
No. Hi, honey.
How are you doing this evening?
I'm doing fine.
And Velda is another one of our moderators that has jumped in, and she's always helpful to this show. So it takes more than just one person. It takes a team. And Jen is in the room also, or another one of our moderators.
I'm here.
How are you, Jen?
I'm just fine today. How are you?
I'm doing fine. You're coming in a little low.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know why.
Oh,
You're scratchy, too.
that's all right.
Don't know why that either.
There you go.
There you go. There's Jen. And she's one of our moderators, along with our own Bernadette. She's in the call, too.
Hey.
Hey. How are
I
you?
just want to say I go out, I watch Randy's show. When he's beating that damn it doll, it gets me hot.
I'm telling you.
Okay? I like that
It's
shit.
even to do
Go
it.
check Randy out. Throw him some cash. He needs a new camera. We need to support our brother.
Yes.
He's going to have to get some more, get another damn it doll.
He's wearing that one out.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to wear
Yeah,
that one out.
I'm gonna wear out
Big-
pins in my
I
voodoo
can't
dolls.
wait. For the head-
Randy beat the stuffing out of it, okay?
I
I never
want to
thought
see that.
a damn it doll would
Beat
be
it.
so important.
I'm telling you,
the
it
thing
comes
with
in,
that doll, I keep expecting its head to pop off.
and it still
I
resists. Keep
love
beating.
It. I
Keep
love
beating it.
It makes me hot.
There you go. There you go. I'm telling you, this whole thing is to keep the message going. Randy's voice and others like his, because we're trying to fight a war against this concept Donnie has that there's no news in the truth. There's nothing to listen here. Go back to your homes. There's nothing to see. There's no news in the truth and no truth in the news. That's what he wants. So it's voices like Randy's and Leo's and Andy's that and Velda's. I'm sorry, dear. Didn't mean to leave you. Velda does her too. Her grandma Blue Dot, Granny Blue Dot.
Yep.
There you go.
In
Of course,
Arkansas.
Richard
In
Anderson.
Arkansas. I'm sorry, Randy. I got Arkansas mixed up in my head, I guess.
I forgot to
Anyway,
mention that came in
I was-
before the pitch.
Oh, that came
Yeah.
in before the.
Yeah, sorry, I'm trying to juggle all this, trying to find these
Well, we
links.
want
so
to
here you
thank
go.
Dawn Petty because she donated $5 through Super Chat
Thank
here
you.
to the show. So that's what I mean. The shows like mine and Randy's and Bob Kincaid's and those others, they
Richard
don't.
Anderson.
And Richard Anderson is another one. Working on a tight budget, trying to do the best you can. You have a voice, you want to use it, you have that enthusiasm about you, and it takes a lot of work to do this. And so we need to step up for each other when we can. So please do that with Randy, because he needs a new camera. He's prettier than I
I am
am. And
so thankful to have my wife Grace. She's been very patient with this, and she's always behind me on doing it.
oh, buddy, I'm telling you, it tests the wife's patience, doesn't it?
Test
Doing
planes,
this.
too.
Yeah, I bet it does. My wife sometimes lets me know I spend an awful lot of my time, and you have to. And it's natural when you're gonna speak about something that the first thing you want to do is delve into the news. And hell, Tyler, my son Tyler gets up every morning now and asks Alexa to play NPR news so he can catch the headlines right when he gets up. It's addicting. It really is, because it's a story that we should all be paying attention to. It's like a soap opera, except it's not as transparent. It's not just a story. It's our country that is on the world stage right now. Anyway.
I keep hoping that one day soon, our internet connections will be better.
Yeah, well, we're working on that. See, that's exactly another thing. We're working on going up to a higher internet speed or bandwidth, so we can do more on our show. And of course, like everything else in life, that takes money. And at a certain point, you can't do it by yourself. We have had tremendous support at our show and continue to. And we want to thank everybody that does that because it just helps this family survive everything and be able to do a show every day.
And I wanted to mention too, uh, I'll have that GoFundMe page, and I just set an amount out there. I don't expect it to be met, but Kathy McLeod mentioned that, and
well, because people want to help.
Yeah, immediately. So,
yes.
It was her idea, and it was far easier than PayPal.
This family has a big heart, buddy. Let me tell you, and it has warmed our heart just as I know it has warmed yours. Just
Yes,
receiving that
this
damn it
family has helped me out so many ways.
Yes, they do. Oh, they've saved my ass plenty. I would have blown a gasket and been in the hospital if it hadn't been for this family propping me up. I'm telling you, it's stressful. It's a lot of things, time consuming being one of them, and so yeah, it takes a lot to do this, especially being persistent with it, and that's what the line is: resist and persist, and you have to show that persistence. You have to be willing to bite the bullet, even on days when I haven't felt like doing it. I know it's something in me that I know people are wanting to see me for some ungodly reason, and I'm still happy with. But that, it encourages me, supports me, and makes me motivated to do the best damn job, because nothing is more scarier than facing live internet and then making a fool out of yourself somehow. And I've done that on occasion. And thank you, Diana Mallory, who donated $10 through Super Chat. We appreciate that very much. That is going towards our upgrade to our internet system. That's where we're trying to gain that ground, so we can have faces on here besides just mine. We can pull in Randy or other people and have face-to-face conversations, right?
Yeah, really quick, Randy. I've been trying to find your link to this GoFundMe you mentioned, and I cannot seem to find it. Where was it you put it again?
I don't think the GoFundMe is.
Ended up on Rant and Randy's the True Patriots page group.
Okay. All right. Awesome.
But it did say that it would be 24 hours.
Yeah.
An hour ago or whatever.
Okay, but everybody can then go to that link and just await the 24-hour mark and be able to go in there and access it. Yeah, I'm just trying to find it. I asked Dad to get all this stuff ready for me, but as per usual, he likes to throw me under the bus. So.
I didn't do it.
Exactly,
I'm a witness,
he didn't do it.
I'm a witness. Call me as a witness. I saw him. What did you do?
It's what you did.
Yeah, I saw it. He did it.
So no, I'm just trying to get this all started out and run the show. So y'all keep talking while I figure this out. But awesome deal. I'll go look there right now.
Good. Get that all hooked up, and you'll find those links in the show notes. I had a wonderful time on the Tim Cormall show today, as did Kathy Larkin, one of our Blue Dot family members. She was also on the show today. So, and our own Jen has been on Bob Kincaid's show. I think she enjoyed that. I was on there Friday, Jen. I didn't see you on there.
No, I was kind of occupied on Friday.
Oh, well, that's good, wasn't it? Better
Yeah,
reason,
well,
right?
Yeah, it was a good thing, not a bad.
Well, good deal then. I'm glad that happened. Yes, we had a great time on Bob Kincaid's show, and Bernadette, I'm trying to talk her into coming in. She's listened, but we want to get her over there too, because that's what I say. This is not a competition with anybody. This is trying to hold each other up, prop everybody up, and get the message out and spread. And the bigger the family it grows, the better it is. So, right?
Right?
That's
Right.
right.
Here you go.
That's right.
Daddy.
All right.
Well.
Uh,
What?
I've got back out of here. Grace has got the food ready to go on the table.
Oh, boy, howdy. Yeah. What are you having?
Randy, this Burnett.
ham,
I'll be there in
and
20
sweet
minutes.
Yeah,
potatoes.
What? Sweet potatoes?
Oh yeah.
Oh, there you
hell
go.
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah.
So I will be back at the meeting. I probably won't come into Discord, but I appreciate all that Blue Dot family has done for me, and we'll keep this thing going.
Yes, we will.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, as Leo says, share that shit and make it grow. When you hear Randy's voice or anybody else's voice, share that as much as you can. And Randy, we want to thank you for coming by, and again, thank you for using your voice, buddy.
Thank you for. You got me started, John. Now I
Well,
can't shut up.
I know that. I know it, man. But once you get the engine cranked, it's hard to shut that sucker off. You turn the key off, and it's still, it's like an old car. It keeps on running, baby. It won't get out of your head until we remove this man from our office, from our house. That's when.
And then we got to keep going.
Then
Right.
we still got work to do. So, Randy, have yourself a good dinner. Tell Gracie we said hello, and
All right.
we'll see you later.
Enjoy.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
And you can find Randy on Facebook under Rantin' Randy's Rant and on YouTube. So check him out if you haven't. Subscribe to his channel. His numbers mean a whole lot to people over there on YouTube. And, it's the right thing to do, and that's what we like to do. Travis done left me and left that mouse way the hell over yonder. Ain't that pitiful? We're supposed to be
Oh,
starting.
he'll be back.
Yeah, he'll be back in just a second. I'm sure he ran out there to do something. I didn't know what he was going to do. Oh, well, no, it's not time for. Oh, yeah, it is. It's about time for Rose to come home. So he probably went out to go say hello to his sweetie. I would. I would. Anyway, I'm looking forward to this week. I really am. Tomorrow morning's going to be just like the first hearings in the Intelligence Committee. These witnesses, though, are going to be called to tie his actions, his direct, provable evidence, proved by evidence actions against the Constitution, and does that qualify as an impeachable offense. So we're going to go right down the line with constitutional scholars that are going to tell us exactly, is it impeachable? I'm thinking I know the answer. Anybody else care to guess?
Absolutely.
Yeah, the case is so strong in many ways, but like Nadler said, they have to lace the crime with the Constitution. And by the way, speaking of which, I try to get after every time I can. I made a mistake, but it's still doable. I went online, and because so much, and I already have the Federalist Papers, which is on my iPad, which is just an amazing opinions by Madison Hamilton and Mr. John Jay. Anyway, this book that I just got, the Federalist Papers, it also includes the Constitution and the Bill of Rights, and it's cross-referenced to the Federalist Papers, so I can go right to what the Founding Fathers were talking about, and I already have all my little marks here for all the things the Founding Fathers said in the Federalist Papers concerning impeachment. And so I'm reviewing that myself so I can be knowledgeable of it. But my mistake was, I said, oh, well, get the cheap one. It's a very small book, which means it has very small writing. And I should have chumped the extra few bucks to get a larger size. I didn't know this one was that small. But, I'm trying to keep up with the conversation that's going on. And a lot of the people that I interact with, they already went through college and studied that book. So I'm trying to catch up and just keep my dumb ass up to par. But it doesn't take a scholar. That's what I mean about the voices out here in the country is so important. This doesn't take rocket science. We all can understand common sense. We can understand a lie when we see one. We can see a con when it's happening. We may not know all the right words and legal terms, but I guarantee you every one of us knows, hey, that shit ain't right. And we're watching it go on all the time. So, that's what I mean about the voices in America. It's important that the perspective of somebody besides a talking head on TV gives you. And I think in our situation here, Uh, a lot of people are at that stage of just saying, "Are you shitting me? He did what?" You know, and it's that kind of shock every day that keeps us, you know, filled with news that we have to keep seeking out. Everything okay?
Yeah, I'm just trying to get this together.
Oh, well, everybody wondered where you went. You know,
John, do you follow the Palmer report?
I do sometimes. I catch him occasionally.
Okay.
You know,
Okay. I was just checking.
oh, he's great. He's smart.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, him and oh, the guy that draws the pictures and everything too while he speaks. Reed or sheesh, I'm terrible with names. I'm telling you. Richard Reed. Richard. Somebody help me out here. And I got Robert Reed.
Robert Reed.
Robert Reed. Thank you, Velda. I like him too. He takes the time to explain things, and he even draws little pictures so you can watch it, follow along. But yeah, I try to stay informed as I can through a whole lot of different ways. Most primary being the internet and what I can read. I'm constantly chasing stories on the internet because I'm not always in front of the TV when something's happening or they're talking about something. Uh, Top Democrats warn without impeachment, Trump may try to rig election. That's what he's trying to do anyway. That's the headline on Bloomberg. Uh, on USA Today, here's the biggest news you missed yet. Yeah, The Hill, BuzzFeed, even Fox News, which right now is saying Washington State twin girls 4 climb up embankment after crash that killed dad. That's a pitiful story, but the two unhooked themselves from their seatbelts and climbed out, and it was a horrible story. I'm just saying, you know, I try to catch even Fox. I'll go over there and look at, you know, I won't watch it, but I'll go over there and check their headlines to see what they're talking about, how they're pushing shit, and it's always some off the wall crap, you know, pushing Ukraine the same way the Republicans are right now. You know, that's ridiculous. So how are you, Dave?
I'm loving the summer weather down here, moment.
Are you?
The summer.
Well,
Yeah, oh yeah. We had 100 yesterday, and today's 90. I was talking to Velda at 6 o'clock this morning, my time, and it was a lovely 75 degrees, and I was sitting on the front porch. while the
75.
chirp, the birds chirping. Yeah, 75 degrees, 6 o'clock this morning on the front porch, watching the river flow past, talking to Velda with a
I
coffee in
can
my
relate,
hand.
buddy.
It
I
was,
can relate. There's
And his
something.
birdies were chirping.
Oh yeah,
oh, lots of birdies, mate.
lots
Oh,
of
lots
birdies.
of birdies.
Yeah.
There's probably about 1,000 birds here at the moment. We have every year we have this flock of, they call them corellas. They're like a parrot,
Right.
but they're all white with a yellow and they're beautiful birds. But they come in every year around this time, and what they do is they land in all the beautiful gum trees and all the beautiful whatever trees are around, and they sit there all day picking off the leaves and throwing them on the ground.
Really?
So your lawn area, oh yeah, so the whole area, the parklands, the golf course, um, covered in leaves.
What's this
Then
leaf
when they
doing
get
here? Get
sick
that
of
off here.
that,
Throw that away. Oh, there's
they,
another one. Get that out of here.
they get
I can
Yeah,
just
yeah,
see
yeah,
that
yeah,
shit.
yeah, that's what it's like. And when they get sick of that, they go down and land on the lawn, and they pull the lawn up by the root.
Boy,
And
howdy.
you get probably 300, 400. They destroy a lawn in a day. They pull the whole lawn up, and they chew on the root of the lawn.
Boy,
So
howdy
the
shit.
golf course and the parklands get really upset. But they're protected. So 2 years ago, the council got, which is the local government, got permission
Right.
saying they're causing too much damage. They got permission to bait them, like euthanize them while they're nesting,
Right.
and they did. And for 2 years, we had very little problem with them. But they're back this year in
And
aggressive,
the population's
and they're
growing
really
again.
powerful. Yeah, yeah. It regenerates so quickly. But they're beautiful birds. But I put the sprinklers on and I leave them on
There you go.
because I'm pumping river water. It's not town water. So I pump and I leave the sprinklers on, and they don't like that. So I
There
save
you
the
go.
lawn that way.
Go pick on the other
But
lawn. Leave this lawn alone.
I've got something else I want to bring up with you.
What's that?
Something that concerns America. I've noticed a lot in the last 48 hours. A lot of senators that are Republicans
Right.
breaking down to the point of they would probably vote against Trump. I think what they've realised that Trump is a bit toxic
He
when it
is.
comes to 2020, and he's definitely going to be more toxic. And so they feel that if the Republican Party is going to get re-elected, they're not going to do it with Trump. They feel, and they're probably going to groom Mitt Romney or something like that.
Yeah.
But I think the country's turning more blue and purple.
Thank you.
It's showing that the people are looking to get this guy. More people want to get this.
Get him
I
out.
think
Yeah.
more people are seeing it too.
Just the other day they
There-
were
there
laughing
was
at him
a-
at NATO. It's getting
Yep.
plumb embarrassing. You know?
There was a letter sent to Congress. Now, this will blow your mind. 2 days ago, sent to Congress. A Dr. Brandy Lee, who's and a Professor John Zenner, who are professors in Columbia University, and along with 700 other psychiatrists, professors, signed and sent a beautiful letter to Congress saying that they want their representatives to appear in Congress and warn Congress that Trump is got cognitive problems and his downhill decline is really fast. He's a danger to the country. The 25th Amendment is very
Very much still in play,
I
possible.
think oh yeah, but these guys said we want to appear in front of Congress and or the Senate hearing.
Yeah,
We
that's
want to
where
have
Donnie's
that
placing
time.
all his marbles at. I think it's a harder game over there, though, than it is in the Congress. I've always said Congress is 450-something seats, and, it's like wrangling cats in there. Before I get carried away, I want to welcome our own T.W. Travis, who is the singer of that beautiful song you heard at the beginning. Hello, T.W.
Didn't hear it.
Didn't hear it.
No, I was
Well,
busy
take my
and I
word
just
for it. It's
looked
pretty
down at the
good.
phone.
It's pretty good. I speak highly of the guy that wrote it, too, You ought to meet him sometime. He's a pretty
Yep.
good boy. We appreciate the shit out of that, TW. I'm honored by it, and I'm just blown away that somebody would even think about that. But anyway, we thank you very much, and you're going to be hearing it here. And hell, like I said, we might have to put out an album pretty soon. Actually, we were talking about that here the other day at the house, and I was thinking, well, that would be great if we could have some of your music, some of Buddy Davis's music, Oddly Wired, get her to do a voice, maybe if we could on one of her poems, and this family, this Blue Dot family, has a lot of talent in it. I'm telling you, and
Eva from Germany.
yes, Eva Adams over in Germany. Madeline Bell over in Spain. These are voices of the blue wave. I don't know. We was joking around with it the other day. And then I could jump in every once in a while and go, anyway, and then we could say so the next act would come out, and sort of like Stephen Colbert's. Meanwhile,
John, you could always play on that wooden box thingy that you got out.
the
I forgot
cajon.
what it's called.
The cajon. Where's my cajon? Right over there. It's right over there in the corner, ready to be played at any moment. All you have to do is sit down and just start tapping away.
There you go.
If you're good at it, you tap loud. If you're lousy at it, like I am, you just kind of tap slightly, see if you can hear it yourself. And, I do.
I kind of got in here late. I just was wondering,
What's that?
did you guys talk about Ted Cruz making a fool of himself on Meet the Press this morning?
I watched him this
No.
morning.
Yes, he did.
Yes, he made an idiot out of himself. That's what-
Yeah, he was sure a butt kisser, wasn't he?
I'm telling you, That's what. And as soon as I saw him up there, well, the first thing that comes to mind is, well, look at there, Ted's beard's back, and he's trying to disguise himself to be somebody other than the guy he was before. Uh, I hate the guy. Mainly, if he would have stuck by his guns, he'd be a respectable person. But he didn't. All that bullshit, and there's a lot of them out there that did the same thing. Who's the guy out of Mormontown? Anyway,
Mitt Romney.
Mitt Romney. It's shit. Trying to remember.
He's
something.
another brown noser too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Those are the people that came out vehemently in talking about honor and integrity and all of that stuff. And Ted Cruz poured that shit on thick.
Oh,
then fell
even
right
when
on his
Chuck
freaking
Todd
knees.
was trying to even say, "Are you kidding me?"
Yes.
And he goes, "Oh, you're just trying to turn this around on me." Yeah, whatever. We weren't turning it around on you.
When we use your own words against you, we're playing tricks,
Yeah.
When we bring up something you said, and I can't remember exactly what that comment was that he was talking about there. A lot of shit runs through my head when I see Ted Cruz.
He was talking about the same thing. He said,
the Ukraine.
"We never saw anything about Ukraine. You do need to sit there and read the transcripts." And Chuck Todd, I've sat there and read the transcripts. How can you not say that he didn't talk to somebody about this?
It's in the transcript. It's in all of them, though. Every one of them that comes out are pushing the same narrative. And it remind you, this is the Russian narrative. This is the Russian story propagated by Russians, sent out by Russian intelligence, trying to get the world to believe that Ukraine was involved. And that story, and the Bidens, and that's the whole thing with the DNC server and the secret shit. That's the story, and every damn Republican is pushing that narrative. Now, this is what I mean by it's okay in the House. In the House, because they're all playing this nobody crosses the line bullshit. And we're all going to turn a blind eye, and nobody's going to vote for impeachment. Maybe one if we get lucky.
Yeah, see, that's what they're talking about. They're talking about the Senate is basically just going to come in and go, "Oh, we don't see anything."
Yeah, well, they're not going to be able to do just that. They have the votes to adjourn, or Mitch McConnell could. I don't know if he could, table it just like everything else he's tabled. Every 400 and something bills that the House has passed and sent to the Senate. I'm not sure.
Bernadette, in and out.
Bernadette got to go and come back in.
If they try to pull this crap, they are going to pay a political price come election time. There's
that's what they said.
Way too much of a majority that wants him.
That's what they said. They said that
to survive a re-election.
Republicans are going to pay a price.
Yes, this is a test, baby.
A lot of Republican senators are getting pressure, I'm sure, from the and not all of them to notice that the Senate's getting a little bit wobbly.
It is wobbly. There was a gentleman, I can't remember which one it was, on Meet the Press this morning that said he has talked to, he held up his hand, 5 Republican senators that lean towards impeachment. Now, this is what, and I don't know if it's going to come true. I'm praying it does. I've been saying since the beginning, Nixon didn't go until the House and the Senate were convinced that he was guilty, and they were going to vote him for articles of impeachment. Then Nixon bailed before the impeachment happened. It's the same thing. We have to make it. Now, in the House, it ain't going to work because, like I said, scumbags, every one of them, as far as I'm concerned, they're not going to do a damn thing. They're on their knees kissing Donnie's ass. The Senate is a different animal. They do take a little pride and a little more serious up there in the Senate. They are the last stage before the White House that anything goes through. We like to think that they do it right, but we see Mitch McConnell playing games with everything else. But the world is going to be watching this. And
they even said on Meet the Press, too, like Granny Jen bring up, this isn't the Republican we've seen. This is Donald Trump's Republican.
Yes.
And they said a lot of people are going to be paying for this price. When it comes election, there's going to be a ton of them voted out because they're going to look at this and say, what? No, you guys kissed his butt, and we're done.
Yeah, because, it's...
Where does Jim... Sorry, Matt.
Go ahead, Dave.
But where does Jim Jordan come from? What state does he represent?
Jim Jordan?
Ohio.
You know,
Ohio.
Yeah, Jim Jordan.
yeah, Jungle Jim
Because
Jordan.
He's got
Yeah,
he's got
Ohio.
a local popular farmer that's decided to run against him.
Yes, he's going to
A
be
farmer.
primaried. Yeah,
A
farmer.
even if
a
it,
toad could run against him and still win.
yeah, there are people you have to wait. You know, it was the same thing with Trey Gowdy. When Trey Gowdy was in the house, it was a constant source of screaming about nothing, things that they knew were nothing. In Trey Gowdy's case, it was Benghazi. It was 7 hearings, all that shit, spent millions and millions of dollars to affect Hillary Clinton's poll numbers. And that's all it was. And that came right out of his mouth. So we know the game they play. They're just trying, this whole damn thing in Ukraine is trying to dig up a story. It's sort of like the deal he made with Zelensky itself. He wanted an announcement of an investigation, not a real investigation. And it's the same thing Donnie wants here. He wants an investigation. Evidently, he's got Lindsey Graham and 2 other senators up there to do exactly that. They're forming a committee to look into the Ukraine story and the interference in 26. Just doing that. Just doing that is playing into that game of creating some kind of bullshit for the whole world to look at and be distracted from what is actually happening.
Yep.
And what's really happening is we have a president that is abusing his power.
What you hear is not real.
Yeah, that's exactly Donnie's quote.
What you hear is not real.
Yeah, that's what I mean when there is no news in the truth.
See, that's what I think. That's still what he.
Trump has committed every freaking that the founding fathers were
Yes.
worried about.
Yes, everything that they're worried about, and I'll tell you what, if you go to, the Federalist Papers is very long. It's a long book, filled with insight and everything. But if you could get your hands on a copy and just go look up the impeachment sections and see what the founding fathers said about it. And they describe Donnie, a man of low esteem and character. That's Donnie. He'd sell us out in a heartbeat.
Trump is the thing that he is most worried about, and they have said this from day one, is basically he is worried about that his presidency is going to be illegitimate because of what he's done, and it's going to soon turn out that way.
Ain't going to turn out that way.
Because
How about
he
that
made
shit?
it that way.
Yeah, how about that shit? All the shit he yelled about Obama not being American and all this and an illegitimate problem. Bullshit, and look what's going to happen.
We have an American that's a piece of shit.
That's it,
I love karma.
I'm sorry.
I love karma.
Yes.
Karma is good.
Yes, karma does have a tendency to come around and smack, and it's going to smack all of these people. I've said it from the beginning. Everybody that serves under this Trump administration is going to have a little asterisk next to their freaking name, and it means that they worked for shit. They went to work for a man who is unpatriotic, obnoxious, disgusting. Name a bunch of words. That's him.
This is the thing that I wish they would bring up, though. I wish they would bring it up every time when he comes out and says, well, Hunter Biden was doing this and he got that from his daddy and da-da-da. I wish they'd bring up to him, and I wish they'd bring this up on these other shows like Meet the Press and this. Hey, Ivanka's doing the same damn thing.
Shit.
So is everybody else that's working for you, and they're getting money
Every
from the
one
White
of them
House.
appears. Every one of them.
Yes.
Seems to be appears to be involved in this shit in one way or the other. That's how come Rick Perry disappeared. He's
Yep.
trying to lay low somewhere.
Yeah, I
just-
haven't seen his ass.
No
He's
shit,
gone,
no.
dude.
He's trying to stay as low as he can. He doesn't want to be involved in the Donnie shit that he got himself involved in. He tied
What about
Donnie
Jared
around his
Kushner?
neck, and now he's
Jared
scared to
Kushner.
death. What's that?
Well, that's like Cory Gardner here.
Hey, Jared Kushner's laying low, isn't he?
Yes,
You haven't
Jared,
had him
all of
laying-
them. Ivanka, who is in China negotiating the trade war, at the same time she's negotiating deals with Chinese companies. It slaps America right in the face while they're up there screaming about Biden. They want you to
John.
look at what that back there, not
She-
what's now. Go ahead.
She shouldn't be negotiating anything. This
No.
woman does not have
No.
the least amount of experience that it takes to negotiate on a level that she's at.
She wouldn't open those doors. Normally, those doors wouldn't open for her.
Nope.
The only qualification she has is she is the
The
president's
only
little
reason she got where she's at is because of Daddy. Daddy bought
Yeah, well,
every
girl.
part.
And you can say the
here's
same
what
thing for Jared
Here's
Kushner.
what scares me. Exactly. Here's what scares me is that you hear about the shit that Ivanka is doing, but you don't hear about the shit that Jared is doing. And he's the one that wanted to create backdoor channels to Russia, to Saudi Arabia, to Israel, to everybody.
That's right.
To Dubai, all of them. Jared Kushner is Damien from the Omen 3, okay?
And I hope it comes up when it comes up to the Senate and they say, well, you know, Jared Kushner and all these people that have been working with him in this White House have been doing backdoor channels. I'm hoping it comes out because I hope it's not going to take years. It's not going to take years.
If the Senate starts to call people like Pelosi or Schiff or the whistleblower, then the Democrats need to turn around and subpoena Pompeo, which these people have already been under subpoena, I understand, or already been requested. I don't know if they've been. I'm sure they have. All of them, and they can't turn this shit down. The court's going to have to come up with their shit pretty damn quick because they cannot refuse a congressional subpoena, and that's the freaking law.
Really quick, I want to hear what Jen has to say.
What I was going up, if I can recall now.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Jen. I heard that in the background.
I would be very interested in people discussing how much Donnie is losing it. Did you hear his press conference on Friday, where he's talking about he's going to stop women from giving birth at 9 months and he can control the rain. and
how many times you flush a
10 or
toilet?
15 times to flush a toilet.
Yes, God.
What is wrong with this man?
Lord.
That's him.
They said he's losing his. They said he's losing his cognitive. You know.
700.
Hey, you know what? Richard Nixon walked through the White House at night, totally fucking drunk, talking to pictures, to portraits of dead presidents. Maybe
They weren't as mean to you as they are to
ghost
me.
in the White House thing going on, you know.
Yeah, if there is something wrong with him, you bet your ass the White House would try to hide it as much as they can. I don't know if it's a symptom, but
they never
that's
said
the kind
why he went to Walter Reed. They never said why he went to Walter Reed that weekend.
No, just a regular
Unannounced.
checkup. That was all it was.
Bullshit.
They're still trying to sell that shit.
Panic
And
attack.
Jeffrey Epstein
A
hanged himself, by
checkup
the way.
from the neck up.
Yeah. Yeah. He needs to be
Yeah,
examined
a
from the
panic
neck up
attack.
for a lack of something up there in the head. He is, but that's what he's known for. That's how come I always laugh back at the thing about the Canadians smuggling shoes and made them sound old, and all that shit. It's bullshit stories that he comes up and puts out of his mouth, and he expects you to believe
thinks that they're
shit.
gonna stick.
Yes, it's just common. Don't think about it again. And that's how come he always uses that term. Everybody knows. Everybody knows. This is a hoax.
What was
knows.
what was his one deal? He says, "I don't exercise because that tires you out."
Yeah, it tires you out. You don't want to
Who's
get tired.
everybody? No one ever says to him, Mr. Trump, who's everybody? Or you say, Mr.
Exactly.
Trump, you know a lot of
Who
people are
everybody's
saying, well,
saying.
who's a lot of people?
Yeah.
Who is it?
Yeah.
Give us a fucking name.
I
ya?
would just like to, I would, if I was a reporter, I guess, if Frog had wings, I would just
You'd
see
lose
myself,
it.
I'd get fired because I would persist with the question every time he would say something that he just pulled out of his ass. Just challenge him and ask him the question. Mr. President, why do you feel it is necessary to continue to lie to the American people every time you tell a story?
I don't lie, sir. I don't lie. You lie, don't you,
sir? We
must lie to
fact
your
check you
children.
all the time, sir. It's just a public. Everybody knows.
Where do you-
Everybody
where
knows,
do you-
Mr. President. That's what
I
knows?
don't lie.
Who
You're fake
knows?
truth. You're the fake truth.
says the
Everybody's
fake
saying that
president.
this is it. Your CNN is fake news.
Yes.
I deal with Fox. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Right? Fox
And
being,
you go check
Fox
out
is
what
being
Fox is.
sued.
Yeah, exactly.
They're being sued by Karen McDougal because they said that Karen McDougal
was lying.
blackmailing Trump.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
they're
they were lying
saying
about it.
she's blackmailing Trump now. They're saying she's doing it right now. So she's turned around and got a lawyer and said, right, that's scandal, that's slander. I've had nothing to do with Trump since I got paid off. I don't want anything to do with Trump. So now she's suing Fox and Tucker Carlson.
Yeah, Tucker Carlson. Ain't that
somebody
a piece
needs
of
to.
shit? That's a guy that's just trying to more and more trying to make his name and make his mark. Look how disgusting I can be. That guy. Yeah. He just continues to try. You know, he was talking the other day about how we we have more in common with the Russians. He's pushing that story. Oh, we have a lot in common with the Russians. We're more closer to the Republicans than we are to the Democrats, and all that kind of bullshit. Are you shitting me? You little backstabbing asshole.
Sell.
You know, it's the whole
pump the pump.
It's the whole story. The whole GOP, the Fox spews, the right-wing nut job media over there, they're all pushing one thing. Russia, being friends with Russia. It wasn't Russia, it was everybody else that did it. Don't look over here. How much money are they paying these assholes? Is it an unlimited well? Can they just keep sucking off the tit? I'm sorry, baby. Go ahead. Jen?
Have you ever stopped to think that he might be right? They do have more in common with Russia.
They do.
Fucking feckless pricks, man. Swear to God.
Yeah, with the oligarchs.
Yeah.
With the oligarchs, they have a lot in common.
And they're trying to run and keep everybody underneath their fucking thumbs. Keep us down, keep us broke, keep us poor, and keep us out of power.
Hey, broke and needing a job. Were you going
to
to say something?
And if the Blue Dogs don't raise up and take our asses to the polls, because these fuckers aren't going to get rid of his ass, we're going to get rid of his ass.
There you go. Hold on, Jen.
We need to get rid of his ass.
No, I don't have anything.
Oh, I thought you was trying to get a word in.
And the friggin' Republicans, they get back in, they will take the guns away more so than the Dems will. So they will disarm the people and they'll arm the police. They're currently giving the police military arms now that they don't normally get. Now, I don't know why they're getting these little mini mortars and that, but they're getting a lot more. Trump's just building a brown shirt fucking army. And he's going to take the guns away from the people so they can't resist. You watch.
You know, he'll come under the disguise of we're going to register true blue Americans for the militia. Sign up for the Trump militia. Do you have any guns? Yes,
Something
you do.
like
Okay, got your name on the list, everybody. You know, it's you know, the whole gun issue. It pissed me off the other day when I read the story about the state of Virginia. Ever since it turned blue, all these redneck districts counties out there are screaming that they're Second Amendment sanctuary counties. You know, it's not a legal thing. It's not a proclamation. It's nothing. It's just them screaming that they've got guns. Why? You know, to me, that kind of talk is an intimidation against good red-blooded Americans out here who are minding their own business and then now have to worry about some redneck asshole who just decides, well, the liberals got to go and runs out and starts shooting somebody. Those are the people we worry about, and you will find them in areas that the main concern is guns because, you know, they got to be ready for the uprising.
And Democrats have got to get out there and start saying on TV, we're not going to take your guns. Don't worry about that. We just want laws that will stop the idiots and the insane people getting guns. You can have your guns. And they may get a lot more Republicans saying, oh, hang on, these Democrats aren't that bad, you know, because Trump's pushing, they're going to take your fucking guns.
Now, there's two things.
They're going to get and say,
things that recently, with this case in Pensacola that struck my mind. One was I saw a story that the shooter, the Saudi Arabian national, who was over here, bought the gun legally. That was the first story.
Yes.
And the question in my mind went, what? Legally? He bought the fucking gun legally? He's not even a citizen of the United States.
How long was he here for?
No shit. He's been here a while because he was already up in training. I don't know what stage.
Donnie somehow got a phone call from basically Saudi Arabia that said, we didn't do it.
We didn't do it. We didn't know anything about it. Terrible.
We're sorry.
What's most concerning about this
Go ahead, Jim.
He had a hunting permit.
What's most concerning about this for me is the report that the shooter has been attending meetings with other Saudis at the base, watching these terrible videos of other shootings.
They are feeling that
and
this
that,
is an act of
and
terrorism.
that there are Saudis who have videotaped the shooting that went down this week. This sounds to me like a bunch of Saudis coming after us like 9/11. Except
because they know they can get right by Trump. Good point, Jen.
Okay.
Good point.
Exactly.
Soldiers are Saudi.
It speaks a hell of a lot. Go ahead, Bernadette.
Can you not hear me?
Yeah. Go ahead.
They said today on the news that this guy, who has to be a part of the royal family in order to be even admitted into the school and get a position as a student, he had a hunting permit, and through that loophole in the law, he was able to acquire the handgun.
So let's be clear here. What we're saying is, even from countries that we may have a fear of because of past little skirmishes, like 9/11, that anybody could, if you're a foreign national, you can come into this country and go buy a gun.
Okay, so basically,
we're arming.
Bernadette is what you're.
Yeah, we'll hook you up with the guns to kill us.
Are you saying that he's a diplomat?
Yeah.
Because if that's the case, then
he's not a diplomat. He's here under military confined for training. But he's going to interact in the society around him. And I understand he was at a dinner. He gave a dinner party where he is playing shooter videos. Look at this guy. He's going to go kill someone. If you're doing that in your freaking dinner party, that should be a red flag that you shouldn't even be in whoever's fucking military. If you're getting your jollies off watching people die, there is a sick fucking living in your head.
But hold a minute. How the hell do you come into the United States, get a fucking hunting permit from Saudi Arabia? What the fuck are they hunting?
That's what I'm saying.
Sand fleas?
There is no law in this nation preventing an immigrant or visitor from buying a gun.
There you go. Maybe
there's
you
just
don't
no law
think
against it, so therefore it's legal.
There are things that need to be done.
Let's keep in mind that this is also the country that would not bar purchases by people who are on the no-fly list. We allow that too.
Sure, buy a gun.
Okay.
Buying a gun is one of the most.
And this is all out of the NRA, and NRA's biggest donor, Russia.
That's it, baby.
Yep.
I don't know why all these.
This would be Saudi Arabia.
Because
Donnie has made it very clear that they give us a lot of money.
Yeah, they pay cash. That's what Donnie wanted to make sure everybody
Well, he
knew.
should know that because they paid cash for that whole thing up in Trump Tower.
That's it.
Yeah, and they paid
Trump's
cash
commission.
for
Trump's commission.
killing Khashoggi, and they paid cash for a whole lot of shit that, for him to come over and rub
cash
the
makes us forget a lot of things.
They paid cash for that too, to placate Donnie so they could get whatever the hell that they want in our country. Like, I don't know, nuclear technology?
Trump already gave that to them.
I'm just saying.
We're going to see a little Christmas gift, I guess, from Kim Jong-un from North Korea, since you're mentioning that.
Oh, yeah.
I believe it's going to be
he called Trump a dotard.
A dotard again. Yep, the days of dotard are back, baby. We're back to Rocket Man and dotard, two little pricks out there trying to see who can puff up, and that should scare every one of us. That's
pricks with bad hair.
Yeah, because now evidently Kim Jong-un has got a Christmas surprise for us, and today, or I believe it was today or yesterday, said they had a very successful test that will change Korea's position in the world order, and that can mean only one thing: an intercontinental ballistic missile, something that could reach the United States.
And what did Donnie do? Donnie went over there, shook hands with this little fucker, and pulled us out of all joint operations over there in that area. And now we're effectively useless.
Well,
Just like
Donnie
he pulled
tweeted
us out
out
of
to
Syria,
him today.
And now we're effectively useless there.
Just remember, Russia is helping Donnie in the background. Russia would be aggravating, and say, for example, Russia would assist North Korea
Yes.
with its
Yes.
technology
And
to
they
get
have
Donnie
visited.
pissed off to start a war. They want Donnie into a war. Russia wants Donnie in a war with Iran or with North Korea. It's going to create
we
business
have
for all
been-
these arms fucking dealers and arms manufacturers, all these rich
There you
people
go,
around
baby.
the world.
The big.
And the
We've had
soldiers
an
are going to
embargo
get
on
sacrificed in
oil
Saudi
to-
Arabia.
You know,
That's what they're going to go to Saudi
what's
Arabia.
going to
and
get
they're
our
gonna
ass in the
lose
crack
in and
is
out
that
again.
we are an arms dealer to the world, and we will
Travis, bring
sell
her
you.
back in.
Yeah, I heard.
We will sell you the weapons so you can come back and go to war with us.
Prostituted your
yeah,
army.
it's-
Prostituted the army.
Yes, that's what I feel he's done, and out of the word out of his own mouth. The reason we're sending them
Yes.
over there is they pay cash, and we're going to
We go
protect
kill people
the
for
oil.
cash.
That's what pisses me off all the time. We're going to
And,
protect
and,
the
and that's
oil.
the thing that pisses me off too, because it's like the oil has been. I mean, right
You
now.
don't need that
Yeah,
oil.
we left the
paying
Kurds hanging
less-
to go protect the
we're-
oil.
We're paying less right now in gasoline and things like that right now. Okay, we're supposed to have this abundance of gas and this abundance
No,
of
we're
oil and this
extra.
abundance.
You know, we're number one in the world.
You don't need that oil.
We don't. But it's a
We
way to
don't.
control
No, you
oil
don't.
prices. When oil
He wants
goes,
to aggravate Iran. He wants to upset Iran. He wants Iran to say, fuck, get those troops out
Well,
of
then
there.
he needs to go up there
whatever.
and give him the fanny or something so they can stuff something up his ass.
they both. Yeah.
And Russia's pushing the whole L roads lead to.
Putin.
Russia, Putin.
Right.
Yeah, and what I worry about
Yeah.
on this world stage of everything like that, wouldn't be that a convenient time for Russia to go ahead and make their push into Ukraine? And like I said the other day, if
Yep.
Russia takes the Ukraine, what are we going to do about it? Because that's what Putin's going to be asking. What are you going to do about it? We didn't do hardly
the grand
anything when he
plan.
took the Crimea, and he's still there.
Donnie's gonna fly over to Russia, bend Putin over, and lick his ass.
You know,
What do you think they spoke about when they were in Helsinki, when that private conversation? Oh,
how they're gonna
Mr.
bend the
Putin.
world to their
Yeah.
shape? Because it seems to me like
Correct.
to Donnie's ever since he's been in this office, he has done one thing, and that is try to alienate our allies as much as he can and endear ourselves to those that we consider to be enemies of our
the
country.
state
Yeah,
of a country.
you know,
yeah.
he
Well,
wants to be
the
in bed with Putin, Kim Jong Un. He loves this guy up in Turkey,
He likes
Erdogan.
the dictators.
That's who he
what
is.
He likes.
Those are the people that he cherishes. You know, he does not like
Kim
Macron
Jong doesn't like him.
or Trudeau or Merkel or any of them, because they're working for a democracy. Donnie doesn't want that. Donnie wants an authoritarian regime, so where we're all forced to stand up and clap like shit when he comes outside. That's what Donnie really wants
We
in
can
his
go
head.
stand in. We can go stand in line for bread and
Yeah,
toilet paper
yeah,
and
exactly.
everything else.
That's
Remember,
Trudeau laughing,
remember
Mom.
the military parade he wanted so
Yes.
that all the military could uphold him
Yes.
on the 4th of July?
Yes, Terry Butler said it all. Giuliani is a gangster. That's all that guy is. That's what this whole administration is.
He
it's
wished
a
he was
crime
a
thing.
Doing over
gangster.
there now?
You
What
know,
you doing over there now? What's the story of him being over there now?
Yeah, he's trying to do the
That just
same
goes
thing the
to show-
Russians are trying to propagate, and that is, oh, look, Ukraine had a lot to do with this, and where's the server? You know, that's the story they're trying to push. And it's
And he-
into
and
our
he
Senate
doesn't-
now.
He doesn't stop to think. He doesn't stop to think for one moment that Putin would place in Ukraine who the fuck he wanted to talk to Giuliani.
Yeah.
And give him
I don't believe
whatever,
anybody in Ukraine.
whatever he needed to make his little movie with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you bet.
Live-
He went
live
around trying to
on it.
find all the little scumbags that he could. You can guarantee.
Hell,
Live-
they
and-
communicate
for
on
being undone.
non-secure phones. They communicate on non-secure
Yep.
phones.
Yeah, they
Russia
brought
knows,
that.
China knows, Iran
Everybody
knows, Kim knows, everybody fucking knows.
Yeah,
Except
because
for
Don,
American
Except,
you know, that
except
that
the
was the thing.
Republicans in Congress.
That was the thing when Obama, was in office. He had a secure phone. Donnie doesn't
Yeah.
have a secure phone.
Yeah, I remember
And
Obama
that's
got
the
all upset
problem.
because they took away his BlackBerry.
Yeah, that's the problem, because we're going with a president that doesn't have a secure phone, and that should be national security.
Exactly.
Hell, BlackBerry had to make a personal phone for Obama.
Yes. It's the same thing in this whole administration where we talk about the simple things like his phone or anything else. It's fuck you in your face. What are you going to do about it? He's doing things his way, and that's what all the I like this guy. He does things the way
And
he
that's
wants
why,
to. Yes, it's
that's
disgusting.
why they're coming across and saying that he needs to be impeached because he's breaking and he needs his checks and balances.
Yes, he thinks he is a king. He thinks he is that the Second Amendment gives him all the power in the world to do anything he wants. I mean, Article 2, the second article. Article 2
I
of the
put a
Constitution.
thing on Discord about the amendments last night, and I put that on there because if you don't know the amendments, you can go and sit there and listen to them because they'll tell you right perfectly in what's going on and what he can be charged with. Because, like I was explaining to Velda last night, he can be indicted.
That's it.
Yes, he
can go to jail.
And the courts have said that. And the courts have said that.
And it says it in that, and it says it in there. And that was even drawn up before laws were even put into place. That was put in there.
The founding fathers had that in the Constitution. That basically no one's above the law, and they included the president. They didn't say the
he
president
could go to
exempt.
jail.
Yeah, it's this.
Not in.
It's everything the man says.
Parness is going to sink a lot of people.
Yes, he will.
Devin Nunes is a co-conspirator. He shouldn't even be anywhere near the Congress. He's a co-conspirator, and Les Parness.
I think he should recuse himself from what they're doing now.
From everything.
He should have.
He doesn't give a shit. He doesn't give a shit about anything. Miss Nomad just down here, she said, I got a question. In May of 2017, Philippines president told the world that the Orange Freak Show told him the location of 2 of our nuclear submarines. The White House admitted it. There's a good thing. There's a little, tidbit for you.
That's national security.
Yes.
That's national security.
Those are the most devastating weapons we have. You remember the Trident, the nuclear Trident? What's most important? Well, of course, it's the nuclear. You idiot. The Trident is the ability to deliver a nuclear weapon, not the weapon itself. And in this case, the most devastating, most secretive one is the submarine. Because nobody knows where they're supposed to be. Of course, Donnie will just go out there and let you know exactly where they are.
That's the bad thing because he's probably talking to Putin and telling him, hey, we've got subs here and we got subs here. So,
hell, he invited the Russians into the Oval Office.
And here, hey, don't worry about it.
That's what's so damn disgusting about this.
I just pray to God that the military knows that and brings him with one address of those subs, and they're in a different address.
Yeah, they are. The minute that they're never in the same location long. Let's say that. They're constantly on the move.
Someone's got to say to Donnie, listen, Donnie, whatever you do in chasing the Bidens, that's fucking fine. But the fact that what you've done has got nothing to do with what the Bidens done. Just means that we now have to charge someone else with a crime. But basically, it doesn't exonerate you for your stupidity.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I think they should bring up the national security issue and things like that. That he's letting basically our national security go by the wayside. I think that should be an impeachment.
Well, they come back with
I think it should be somewhere with it in there.
Well, they come back with the president has ultimate ability to declassify.
It doesn't matter.
Anything.
You're supposed to still be able not to be telling secrets.
You're just
like
worried
that,
about
though.
your country. Come on. There's money to be made in this shit. That's what their answer is, baby. I'm telling you.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, see if you get another thing there, John.
That's them, baby. What's that, Dave?
He's done everything the founding fathers were scared of.
Yes.
The founding fathers were things. He's done every one.
Yeah, he's basically took the no offense and trying not to piss anybody off here.
Oh, go ahead.
He basically took the Constitution. He's probably took it in there and used it as toilet paper because he hasn't read it.
Yeah, he's nodding. Those guys are old. They don't know what they're talking about. They should read the book, Art of the Deal. That's what Donnie
They're
says.
dead. I don't care
need
what
the
they have to
Constitution.
say.
Read the Art of the Deal. And he didn't even write that.
Yeah.
He's a sideshow. Donnie is a sideshow that made it to the big time. And here we are with our circus going full 3 rings, going all over the place.
Snake oil salesman.
And I am more than proud to see the Democrat. I'm more than proud to see Nancy Pelosi stand out there and hold her ground, and guide this party through this shit. For her, she is making it clear it is not personal. None of us like the sucker. He's stupid, ignorant, does bad stuff, and the world laughs at him. But that's not what this is about. This is about his abuse of power and trying to manipulate the election of 2020. And we already know that 2016 was manipulated with. That's right. This is about the most basic foundation of our whole system is the right of the American people to vote.
And the abuse of power.
That's it. You know, so if you take away if you abuse your power to take away people's right to information, right to know the truth, and to make an informed decision, we have to trust our government to be honest with us. And this one has shown us that he is anything but. It's a joke at how many lies he tells, and if he's telling them to us, he tells the world leaders that same shit. You know, every time he has a meeting, he comes out and tells you.
He's telling his senators the same. He's lying to his senators as well. I'm sure some of them have been lied to, and that's why they're following him. But they don't know the facts as well. You know.
Yeah, but at this point, Dave, aren't any of it? You know, if evidently I'm not smart enough to be a congressman or a senator, but I can see this shit. Well, I can see the embarrassment every day. I can see the lies coming out of his mouth. His embarrassment when he pulled us out of Syria and turned his back on our allies. There are a lot of when he pulled us out of the climate change, when he pulled us out of Iran deal, a myriad of things that we can all look at and go, what the fuck is he doing? He's kicking everybody in the knees and shitting all over everything.
And sending troops
to Saudi
Arabia.
Yes.
A judge said, and actually Republican senator said, who is retired, who used to be a prosecutor, said the fact that Donald Trump is obstructing the release of his tax return is an impeachable offense.
That is what Brett Kavanaugh, a sitting Supreme Court judge now, when Clinton was being impeached, wrote an opinion.
That's right.
Yeah, yep. Kavanaugh. He wrote an article, an opinion, saying that the mere fact that the White House is forcing Congress to go to court to fight over a subpoena for the White House to defy a subpoena and take it to court. That in itself is an act of impeachment. That is an impeachable act. But this is
Brett to bite him in the ass.
This is back when, and I again remind you, during that same time is when the Republicans set the rules on how this impeachment process works. These are their rules that they wrote. Yes, yep. And they're screaming all this shit, wow, 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 all the way to the bank about how they're being mistreated and the rules aren't fair. They're the rules they wrote, and so now they have to suffer by them. But the Democrats have offered the White House to come in at every stage of this shit, to be a participant in it, to put up their side of the argument, to put up their witnesses. They have said no. They have refused to do so, and playing on this whole thing of screw you. I've got a bunch of senators in my pocket, and it doesn't matter what you say.
Ass, yeah.
That is the test of our Constitution.
All impeachable act that they're carrying out.
That's what this week's important hearings are going to be about. We're going to have constitutional scholars going to come in and tie the actual acts that he did, which means we're going to hear all the stories about what Donnie did that have been proven, and then compare that to scholars who say, where does that fit in the articles of impeachment? Where does this go? How do you connect those two? And that's going to be.
No offense, but you're going to see Jim Shorts Jordan standing.
Oh, he's going to demand.
I don't believe it.
I don't. This is just a show put on by the Democrats. They've always wanted him out ever since they lost the election. They can't stand. Blah 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 blah. Yeah, we're going to see that from Jim Jordan. Probably see it from Matt Gaetz and others.
Probably see it from what is that guy's name? Collins, Doug Collins.
Yeah, Doug Collins. He's the. I can't wait for Nunes to come around. That whole story about Nunes.
Nah.
I'm waiting with bated breath,
he won't
baby.
Say anything.
No, he's not going to say anything.
He'll keep it low key.
But that doesn't mean the investigation is going on, and he knows it. He knows it. It's going to be found out who he talked to and what they talked about. You know.
Didn't he just go to the Ukraine?
Nunes again? That would be funny.
Yeah, that's what they said.
I don't know. I
You
haven't.
joke.
If
How
he
humiliating
is,
can one of them?
isn't that a telling sign? You know what? What are they all over there? Rudy
I think
Giuliani and
they're all over
Nunez
there
and
seeing
everybody's.
if they can get like diplomatic immunity or something
I
over
think
there
they're
because
trying
they
to
know
cook
they're
up
Giuliani
some
may not come
story to
back.
give to Lindsey Graham and his little group to make that big explosion, the October surprise. This is going to be it, baby. This is it. The Democrats, we're all corrupt. Look at this story we found. And the story will prove eventually to be false, but they will play that
Yep.
story all the way between now and Election Day. That's their strategy, to come up with some kind of big boom explosion of look at what the Bidens did here. Look at what Ukraine was involved in. Look at this over here. So they don't get looked at. So them themselves won't be looked at. That's this whole thing.
I wish the president of the Ukraine would take and go, okay, you guys are barred from my country. Get out.
Yeah, he should be pissed off enough to say, I've had you guys. You've caused me so much
You're
problems.
not part of
He
Yeah.
can't.
And you know
He
what?
can't. He's in a
Yeah.
hot war with Russia, and he
No,
needs
honey.
our help. He
I
can't.
know that. But he can damn sure send Giuliani packing because Giuliani
Yes.
has no part in our government.
The
He can
longer
send his ass
Giuliani
out.
Trump
should
lets
not be there.
Giuliani stay in this
Zelda?
story.
We all know Giuliani is not an elected official in our country. However,
No.
he is the president's attorney, and he is operating under the say-so of the president.
That's right.
And that's why he's able to go over there and get away with doing the shit that he's doing. They don't want his ass there any more than we want his ass there.
All
But
this stuff.
if Giuliani says you don't listen to me and play by my rules, I work for the president, even though he doesn't pay me,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
and I'll get him to
pro
stop
bono.
the money.
Pro bono. Rudy's
Well,
taking
they
this
haven't
pro
paid
bono.
all the money. They're still holding $35 million back.
Rudy's out there trying to make
And-
deals for himself, too, at the
But
same
they got
time.
$35 million they haven't paid, John. They haven't paid $35 million of that money. Still outstanding.
I thought they got all their money that was due to
No,
them.
there's $35 million been still held back while Giuliani's
No, I thought
over there.
that I knew that was talked about on Meet the Press, but they said that was withheld and then they gave it to him.
Excuse me.
For the
What I
last
thought.
report, Ring of Fire last report, which is this morning, the money hasn't been paid. They're still holding 35 million.
Well,
And that's 35 million was for mortars and radar technology.
boy, how to shit.
But that even so, why did they hold back $35 million for all these weeks?
Well, that's the question we're trying to find out about everything he did. What's the motive behind it? Because if he did it, he's doing it because there's something in it for him. It's the only reason he does anything.
Yeah.
If he's
But
getting
yet
a
the
payoff.
bastard can give a $1.7 trillion tax cut to the rich, but they can't afford $5 billion to keep 700,000 Americans from probably starving.
Yeah.
Or
Right.
being hungry.
Yeah, that's
But
that's
they can give 1.7
one of the
trillion.
first stories I did after my first initial gripe session about him even being elected was his throwing Granny off of food stamps. I can't remember everything in particulars. There's a video back there. That's your answer, really? Throw Grandma off food stamps or make Grandma get a job? It was one of his first acts that he did was cut funding for food stamps, for the social net that we have out there, that this society has put in place.
He not only cut the food stamps, but he also cut Meals on Wheels.
That's
I know
yes,
that
was at that same time, cutting Meals on Wheels. And
Yeah, 'cause
that's
there used to
exactly
be-
what it was. Thank you, Velda, for refreshing my memory on that. That's
where
exactly
where
what
I'm at, I live in a senior building, and there was a lot of seniors that got that, and they got kicked off of it.
Yeah, and that's and it hasn't changed because that's the story now. He's trying to kick off 700,000 off of food stamps now. That's where he wants to get the money from, and where he wants to put the money is in the rich man's pocket. But he shows us all the time. I couldn't remember. Somebody made a lengthy comment a minute ago. I'm sorry, can't remember whose name it was. But they were talking about the Affordable Care Act and how Donnie is always saying he's going to protect those with pre-existing conditions, and at the same time he's involved in a case here in Texas that is trying to turn over the ACA, throw it out completely, which would remove pre-existing condition protections. So Donnie is actively working against the things that he's telling you he's going to give you. He's a backstabbing, lying son of a bitch. That's all he is. He's a disgusting asshole who will lie to Granny on her deathbed. It doesn't matter to him. It puts money in his pocket. That's all he cares about. But that's where we're at, baby. It's that kind of shit. You know, it's pitiful.
Find him guilty. I hope he goes to prison. I hope they disband that organization. I hope that they hit them with the RICO Act, and I hope that son of a bitch doesn't have a fucking dime to.
That would be my ultimate there. You know, not only that he's in prison, but he's having to beg for some money to put in his commissary fund to get a can of beans.
I know what would be great. I know what would be perfect for all of his properties.
What?
We've got such a big problem with homeless people, and these have got apartments and hotel rooms, perfect for homeless people.
Oh, yeah, his properties. Wouldn't that just piss him off? Having a bunch of homeless people walking into his luxurious, eloquently designed staterooms and all this bullshit. You know, I've never faulted anybody.
Hey, guys, Yogi just posted something. Someone in the anti-Trump Facebook said her handicapped son just got a letter saying he is having his SNAP cut by $100. It's already starting.
Yeah.
Anything they can get. I swear they've come out after me twice now. I'm still going through the second one right now. They've come after me twice, and it's cost me money both times. So
they'll probably
each
go out
time
and vote
I've lost.
for him again, huh?
Yes, they will, because they got a bumper sticker that says "We support the troops" and an American flag next to it, and they can own their gun. Yeah. You know, it's sad to think that a portion of our voters out there who go to the polls.
Hungry.
Well, I'm concerned about these idiots that go to the polls, and it's not all conservatives. They're gonna lose a whole lot. I believe. I
wonder if we'd get banned if I said basically he likes Stormy Daniels. Fuck Trump.
Yeah. If you like Stormy Daniels, screw Trump. I still think she ought to come out on the stage and give an eye to all about, oh, Donnie, just like he does his disgusting crap. That just it shows you the level that they're willing
Take
to
it with a newspaper, huh?
Yeah, really. I'm telling you. Roll up a newspaper.
Did she
and
have
whack
to dress him in a diaper?
Huh?
John.
Yes, sir.
Let me make this statement here.
What?
A business colleague of Trump was on CNN or NBC. It's one of the little short things. They have 10-minute segments and they put them on YouTube.
Right.
He was standing in front of a business building and he said, this court order which said that Trump cannot hide his business statements and his financials, this latest ruling, will show that Trump may and will not probably be a millionaire, at least. When you take off what he owes and what he's got, he's going to be negative and or be lucky to have any money.
I'm telling you. He has fought tooth
and
nail.
He owes a lot. I'm telling you, if he does have any money, it's all rent to the courts because he likes to sue.
I think ownership in most of his property is owned by some shell company that's owned by some oligarch in Russia or some Saudi Arabian
and that's what he doesn't want everybody to see because they'll know that he's full of shit.
Yep. And it would show the big lie, and everybody could point that the king has no clothes, and he's got an ugly looking pecker.
He's
we can
lost
all see
his
it.
money.
Yeah, that's it, baby. That's it.
That's
it. All right,
he got
people.
rid of all of daddy's money.
I want to say thank you to all of our guests that showed up. Dave, we appreciate you coming by all the time. And our moderators, Bernadette, Jen, and Velda, and our own singer there, T.W. Travis. We appreciate all of you being in the room this evening. We appreciate those that support the show. We appreciate Dana Mallory and Don Petty who donated tonight. We appreciate your help with the show. And remember Randy Kervin. It's
yeah, really quick before we end on that, I want to make it clear I could not find the links needed to help Randy on his endeavors, getting new equipment. As soon as we can get those links, we will post them on all of our social media, and I'll make sure Dad makes up for it and makes a video dedicated to that, just to let everybody know what's up. Yeah. And let's send some help over to Randy. He's been working very hard for the last few years doing this shit, the same as us, and we need to keep each other afloat. Yeah. So it is when hard. I get those links, y'all will get them ASAP.
It is very difficult for anybody doing this to ask for that kind of help. So that's how come when I'm in any kind of position to promote somebody else in that manner, I do it because of the love that has been shown to me, and you pay that forward. And so we need to help Randy get new gear so he can just so we can be eyeball to eyeball here, facing each other on the news or something of the day. And so if you can help a Blue Dot family member out, do it. It just that way. But not all of us can. And it is not a requirement, not in this Blue Dot family, not with Randy's followers or anybody else's followers. It's not a requirement of anybody. If you're in a position that you can and you're able to, I encourage that.
Go subscribe to Randy's page and give him a like, give him a thumbs up, share his page.
That's free.
That helps.
Everybody does it. Everybody does it. It tells YouTube something.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Rant and Randy's rant
and
on
Bernadette's
YouTube.
Page will be up here soon.
Yes, we're going to get her a microphone, baby. We need to get her out here in this line. I'm telling you.
Cooking with Bernadette.
And again, if you have the opportunity, tonight I will share the Tim Cormall show that I was on earlier today. And I invite you anytime to be able to go over and listen in to Bob Kincaid's show on Friday on Front Porch. I'm trying to encourage others to come on to that show and have the discussion that goes on over there. It's just spreading the news, baby. It's making the voice go farther, and that's what it's about. So, anyway.
And John, I got to say something to you.
What's that?
Your short little video after your rant yesterday that you did that we're going to do on Friday, but you did yesterday.
The
mail call.
Mail
call. You need to do that.
Well,
oh wow, Velda, that is something that I've mentioned a million times.
Travis has said, Dad, don't do the mail except on one day, because
that would be because it was so much. It didn't have any political shit in it.
Yeah.
It was
great.
And it was wonderful.
Well, then I think we'll do that.
It was good.
Because there's many days I don't get anything. There's the heartbreak of this thing, Randy, is you get used. It's not the money. It's not the donation. It's not the gifts. It's the fact that somebody took the time to write you a letter or send you a postcard. This is me. I'm listening to you, and I like what you're saying. That in itself,
it's the thrill of something.
It just lifts you up. I remind everybody right now, we're accepting Christmas cards. Doesn't have to be a donation in them.
I put the P.O. box address in the YouTube chat because, it's that time of year again. Christmas cards, we love receiving them. We put them out next to our tree or up on our tree.
That's Post Office Box 260070, Corpus Christi, Texas, 78426. And if you want to send us a birthday card, we will definitely call it out, and we're going to hang them up here as we get them. This is a big family. And
do a mail call.
Yeah.
Do a mail call.
I might do that because there are times when I'm trying to do the mail and I've got this rant in my head, and when I hit that camera, that rant wants to come out now. But first I got to play with some other things. And
I've been saying it forever because Dad's much more than just this politics, and I've been saying people would probably like to see the more personal side of things. One of them is the mail call because, people send you letters and stuff. It'd be cool to read some of them out on the air or whatever.
I'm telling y'all would get a big kick out of Marianne McLaughlin up in Royal Oak, Michigan, baby. I don't need her address. I know that woman's address. We get a letter from Marianne McLaughlin.
No food porn, please.
Huh? What's that?
No food porn. No food porn.
No food porn. Occasionally we'll pluck out some
porn.
We'll start talking about.
That was the Godiva chocolates they ate all yesterday.
Why don't you cook something on the show? Get a hot plate out and do John's pancakes or John's burgers and cooking
Or
them little
John's
fry
burritos.
pans.
I got a box of chocolates and
John's
stuff right
burrito.
here at my feet. Compliments of Stephanie Dean. That I'm eating those chocolates out of there and those little breakfast bars like you wouldn't believe. They're handy to have right there, too. Man, just snack them all up. Mama already took some out there. But I'm telling you, I love to
You got her tree back to her safely.
Yes,
right?
I did. I had to give up the little glass Christmas tree. She does not trust me in here with it. It is a beautiful piece of art. And that's what's so, there are things in my house that I just, the full size, numbered and signed print of Mousy Clark's To the Poles, Ye Guardians of Liberty. That I have a bedspread that reminds me. I have my Blue Wave artwork in glass, and things like this Christmas tree that are one of a time items. They're one of a kind items. These,
And hundreds of T-shirts.
Yes, I have hundreds of T-shirts, baby. It's as a matter of fact, I'm fixing to have to bring
Hang
a
them
new.
on the Christmas tree.
Yeah, no, you wouldn't be able. If we hung them in here, there's not enough room.
You need people to start sending you pairs of jeans. Then Mama doesn't have to do no laundry.
Yeah. Yeah, ones that fit would be nice. Yeah, I got it. That's funny. We just had that. Me? Oh no.
Yeah.
Man. I'm a 34. 30. I'm a 30.
That's bullshit.
I'm a 34.
That's bullshit. You're way skinnier than that.
What is
Listen to him. He thinks I'm skinnier than that.
No, because I wear
28,
34 to
32.
36, and
Well, you're hitting on the 36 side. I'm hitting on the 34 side.
Uh-huh.
At
There's a
33.
big difference in
Maybe
width
33.
between you and me. I'm just saying.
I would have
I'm
thought
trying
you
to
were
keep
longer
my
than me.
boyish figure. What can I say? I'm
Lucky
telling
you.
you, shave this beard off. It's a young Tom Cruise under here. I swear it.
I can't
Yeah,
wait to
right.
see that beard and Christmas tree lights.
It's coming, baby.
Take it
You're
all
a
off, mate.
Scientologist.
It's coming. We're
And
gonna
the
have beard
in it.
ornaments.
Yeah, and the ornaments.
Yep, beard ornaments and lights.
What was that, Jen?
Hey, John,
John.
my
Does that
Christmas
mean
wish
that John
for
is
you.
a Scientologist?
What was that, Jim?
Well, you said there's Tom Cruise under there. That must mean you're a Scientologist.
I am. I believe in the aliens came down. They put us here. We're all waiting on the big ship, mothership, to go back to the. Yeah, makes plausible sense to me. Yeah.
Hey,
John,
John,
leave a little
Flat
beard.
earthers.
Leave a little
yeah,
beard,
flat
mate.
earthers.
Don't.
my
Don't cut
Christmas
it
wish
off,
for
mate.
you
What's that, Bernadette?
would be that next Christmas you get to shave that thing off.
I do, baby. That's.
No. No.
I'm,
No.
I
I'm,
did-
Gotta have a
By
goatee.
next Christmas.
Thank you,
Gotta have
thank
you
you,
go-
Dave. It's gonna be, it's gonna
Anything.
kill me. When it push comes
A
to
little
shove,
one.
I
Just a
got
little
to.
one.
But this
Yeah,
is,
I saw some of the videos. They've been kind of showing up a little bit when you first started growing it. It
Yeah.
didn't look bad when you were first growing it.
No, I've always had a stubble beard, what I call, I have an electric shaver that I put on the longest little attachment it has, which is maybe about 3/4 of an inch, and I just shave everything so it stays, nice and flat up against my chin. That's the kind my wife likes. I didn't like this when it was at mid-length, but now it's like,
You
Yeah,
like
you
it.
kind of like it.
I like it.
Wish I could grow
I
a
put
beard
my
like it.
sunglasses on
Play
and
with it, don't
my
ya?
cowboy hat on.
You play with
I
it.
look like a badass. I'm telling you.
John- hey, John.
I wouldn't fuck with that guy. Shit.
John, one of our people in the chat, Ian McGrath, who's from Scotland, by the way.
Yes.
has written on a nice little ditty. It says Trump has already gotten his letter from his doctor to stop impeachment because he has phone spurs.
Phone spurs.
Oh, baby.
From being on the phone. Ain't that a? Where's my?
Oh,
He needs a bell.
Ian, that's
Yeah,
a bell,
there you
baby.
go.
that's the
Ian
bell.
McGrath. He's over in Scotland. Of course he is with a name like that. Where else would Ian McGrath be? Except Scotland. I love that shit. We have a worldwide family, and that's something that just tickles us all, and it should make us all proud. This family is not only within our borders. This family stretches around the world because there's decent people that want one thing in this world: a free life where everybody is treated equally, where everybody is accepted for who they are, and there are no labels on anybody. That utopia that we all dream of, we're hundreds of years away from it, but every day we take that one little step forward, that one little push to try to keep pushing that. That thing that we all love every New Year's when they sing John Lennon, Imagine, or Louis or Satchmo's What a Wonderful World.
Yeah.
What a wonderful world.
It's that place that we're all working towards. And as corny as that sounds, it's the biggest thing in my life. It's what I want more than anything else in the world, is a place that my kids and their kids and your kids and grandchildren are all welcome together in this society that we have. And we want to press this society to all over the world. And so, 100, 200 years from now, maybe so. Tomorrow, no. We got to go back in the trenches. We have to stay in the fight. So that is the biggest thing you do. Everybody on the line, nobody in the bunker, baby. Everybody on the line to push this as much as we can. We have to save this republic. It's the only thing we have here, and it's worth fighting for. So anyway, to our whole panel again, thank you all so much for showing up tonight. Go ahead, Dave.
Yeah, I said here. Well
Here,
said.
here. There you go.
We do appreciate you being around for us to vent.
That's why I'm here.
Our
buddy.
emotions and feelings.
That's
Because
what
everyone needs to vent. Everyone needs to
Thank
vent,
you.
otherwise we'll fucking blow up.
Well, that's, I tell y'all from the start, my rants are my opinion. That's how come I record them. That's how come I don't get anybody in my head. I say what's on my mind. These family meetings, this is about us, baby. It's about every one of us. If somebody like Randy needs the help, we give it to him. Anybody, they've done that recently for Leo when he needed it. It's a family that helps. I don't think there's a single person here that is trying to attempt to make some kind of scam out of this. This is coming from people's heart. And it's difficult to do when you're in an area when those who live around you hear you and don't agree a damn bit with what you say. That's a rough road to walk every day down this road. I do it because I'm proud to do it, and I will do it until we remove this man from our house. Anyway, that's about all I got. Like, share, subscribe, all that stuff. Again, thanks to all our Patreon members and those that support the show. You are the ones responsible for us being able to do this as a family. So we thank you from the bottom of our hearts. If you want to continue doing so, go buy a T-shirt or something like that. We would definitely appreciate it. So anyway, on that note, go ahead.
Sweatshirts are lovely.
That's right, baby. What do you say? Flex it, the lovely.
Sweatshirts.
Oh,
are
sweatshirts
lovely.
are lovely. See, I'm half deaf, baby. Half the shit I go
And don't
hum
forget capital BD holiday
Yes.
promo code at the end of checkout on our
Yeah.
store gets you 15% off, and that goes on for the rest of the year. So no rush for it today or
And what
tomorrow.
about the Christmas album? What about the Christmas
Yeah,
album?
we're working on that, baby.
You're gonna sing some songs for us?
Oh, yeah, y'all want to hear
like
my
this?
ass sing. Hell no. TW's carrying a nice tune, buddy. Y'all be hearing some.
Okay.
They'd have it on a comedy aisle. Look at this redneck trying to sing. Look at this shit. Anyway.
Put your blue cape on.
Yeah, I got my cape. That's what I've got a new saying when Mama starts telling me stuff. Don't mess with me. I have a cape. I have a cape. I will put it on. I'm telling you. I love it. That's what this family does. They give me support, encouragement, and that is what drives you. You know you're right, but when you know you have people behind you, it encourages you, and it gives you that courage to step forward and down that road in front of others, and go, yeah, this is what I believe. On that note, y'all have a wonderful evening. We'll be back here Tuesday evening for another Blue Dot family meeting. Tomorrow, the judiciary hearing starts, so I encourage you to stay tuned and stay involved. And share, like I said, all that stuff before. Y'all have a good night, and we'll see you later. Bye now.
Night.